thing that hit me, more so than the psychology that I'd been learning. Because emotional intelligence was the awareness of self. Not so much what's going on in your mind, but the awareness of how you were feeling and how you were being. And when this hit the cover of the Harvard Business Review, it could not have been a better day for me, because it validated everything that I know. This was the secret. This was the secret to success. This is the secret to happiness. And often when I'd go into corporations and they'd hire me to speak about leadership or sales, I'd say, okay, well, I'm going to start with emotional intelligence. And they'd say, no. We don't want those soft skills. And I go, wait, what? They're the impact skills that make the best leaders, that make the most successful salespeople, because it's the mastery of self and the mastery of others. And so when we master ourselves, we can master our lives in the mindfulness and awareness of who we are, why we think what we think, why we feel what we feel. But it begins with uncovering the understanding of where we came from. I just shared that story with you because I believe transparency is one of the first parts of it. Not to be a victim to your story, but to understand how you could perceive things the way that you might perceive them, why you might feel the way that you feel. Emotional intelligence impacts every single aspect of our lives, our finances, our relationships, our own personal development, and our health and well-being. I believe it is the thing that literally would create world peace if everyone learned emotional intelligence. Every school implemented it. If every corporation implemented it, we would be turning around the state of the world. Because none of these things can be separated. They're all interconnected. You can't have your personal life falling apart and think that your professional life is going to be thriving, because you're not maximizing your potential. You're distracted. So a lot of people say to me, hey, Jen, this emotional intelligence stuff, aren't you just born with it or you're not? The truth is we're all born with it. Every one of us are born like this, pure love. No judgment, complete acceptance, no fears. Everything is possible. And it is through the projections of other people that create the judgment, create the fears, create the limited beliefs. The more trauma people have that is unhealed, the less emotionally intelligent they become. So often when I see people that are not very nice or very much into blaming other people or judging or shaming others, I simply say to myself, hurt people hurt people. Happy people don't. Hurt people hurt people. Happy people don't. There's no reason for a happy person, to hurt somebody. And so I don't take offense to their behavior. As a matter of fact, I shift from taking offense to compassion and empathy, understanding. I might not know what their story is, but I know that they're in a bad place if they're behaving that way. And often they might not have the tools. Remember, I told you in college I learned all these new tools. We just walk around the world assuming everyone has the same tools that we have. That's insanity. There's no way that everyone can have the same tools. So we walk around expecting everyone to behave like us, act like us, think like us. And then we're mad at them when they don't, but they can't. Expectations of other human beings is the number one thing that self-inflicts pain in all of us. Expectations of other human beings is the number one thing that causes pain in all of us. Especially when we project our expectations without clarifying them to other people. Most people walk around mad at people because somebody didn't meet their expectations, and I say, did you tell somebody those expectations? And they're like, no, they just should know. And I said, well, that's crazy. That's like asking someone to be a mind reader, right? But when we understand that we're all born emotionally intelligent, but it's the lack of tools or the trauma that hold others back, we can shift from judgment into empathy, compassion, understanding, and we can become way better leaders, way better role models. And we can take way less offense to other people and their stuff.